Hey, what's up? What's going on? It's your girl, Mary Jane. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It'll be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. Please hit the like button to let me know that you like the reviews, you like what I'm doing. It'll be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. So let's get into it. Let's talk about Insecure Season 2, Episode 8. The finale, Hell of Perspective. Yeah, it was a lot going on in this episode. It was crazy. I'm just not happy that it's ending. I wish there was at least, 10 episodes. It'd have been nice if it was 10 episodes. So hopefully next year there will be 10 episodes. So let's talk. Did you like Issa's shirt? It said niggas on it. And she had the red sneakers to go with the red shirt. And she was just walking around like lost. Like everything around Issa has changed. Nothing has stayed the same. She hasn't changed. She's basically the same, and everything else around her is changing. And she's looking how the neighborhood is changing, you know, how it's not small businesses anymore. It's not more of a black people around. Is changing. Even her apartment complex is changing. It's not a lot of black people around, and they went up on the rent. And even when Lawrence came to Issa's house, he noticed, the white couple, whatever, has changed. It's not, a black neighborhood anymore. And we know the same thing happened in Chicago and Harlem and different areas where it's been, changing the community, changing the face of the community. And the biggest thing that you can do to change the face of the community, if you want to change it, is raise the rent. So, that it's too expensive for Issa to live in that apartment anymore, so she got to move. So we're going to start off, when Lawrence and Apatai, can't say her name, Apati, or whatever, it's his 30 days with Lawrence, and basically, he's running, he's doing a marathon with him and his co-workers, and he turns around, he looks up, and he sees Issa, and it's just like, it's showing that, she's still on his mind, and like, no matter how he's trying to run from her, somehow she always is in the picture. She's always in the back of his mind. She's always in his heart because he loves her. That's just my opinion. That's my take. You guys write your comments and tell me what your take is, please. So it's like, he sees her, and even though he's with his new girl or whatever, Issa's always there. She's always going to be a part of him, basically, like it says, because he has always loved her. And then we switch to, Lawrence. He's at his apartment with his new girlfriend or whatever. And, a party. Something like that is her name. I'm going to get it, but it's too late, isn't it? So anyways, it seems like everything is going well with Lawrence. He has that nice, beautiful apartment. He has his girlfriend that is his co-worker. Everything is basically chill. Everything is good. And then you look at Issa, what's going on with Issa? She has to move. She don't have a place to stay. Basically, she's just couch surfing. And it's so crazy that her and Lawrence are not together. He's not there to support her through this dark time while, she's going through it. Like, she was able to support him for a little while when he was going through his trials and tribulations as, not having a job, being unemployed, and trying to get his idea off the ground. So it's just ironic how he's in like a better place, nice apartment, everything is cool for him, and he's happy right now. And so he was talking to Apartai, whatever her name is. He was talking to her, and he was talking about, what, I felt such like a leader. I felt like somebody important. I felt like I was leading. And and she says to him, if we couldn't have done it without you. And then that's when he throws up, I was thinking about coming up with a new idea, having a new project, doing something different, and introducing that on a table at work. And she was like, nah, I don't think you should do that. What you should do, Booker and Colin are doing, this other project. You should join in with them. And he was like, oh, I should? He was like, yeah, you probably should. You probably should do it or whatever. And so he was like, you know what? And she was like, you should probably do it because basically you can see their format and see what they're doing and then learn how you would do things different and then come up with your own approach. Basically trying to get Lawrence to work along with these guys to kind of like for them to understand him and for him to understand them. That's what I'm assuming she's trying to put out there. And plus she probably knows that any idea that he comes up with right now, they might not take it serious because they're doing their thing. So if he becomes a part of the group with Colin and Booker, then maybe he can branch out and then do his own idea, because maybe she knows stuff about them that he doesn't know, so she's trying to have them mend a friendship or whatever. Who knows? Or she's trying to have a threesome with them. Who knows? We'll find out. So, it's showing Lawrence and his co-worker, the girl that he's dating, Apati, going to the restaurant, and he ends up seeing Molly there. And once again, seeing Molly makes him think of Issa. And, so he's talking to her. They're out there, they're on their date or whatever. And so, Lawrence starts to think about, like, how come you're always laughing at Colin's jokes? How come you're like, always, laughing at his jokes or whatever? He's not really that funny. And she's like, I'm not that close. It's not that serious. You know what I mean? And Lawrence is like, well, it kind of seems like it is. And she was like, well, it's not really that serious. I'm not really that close. And he was like, what do you mean close? You guys had sex. That's as close as you can ever get to somebody. It's having sex with them. And so she was like, well, we only had sex when we was drunk a couple of times. So he was like, yo, so it happened more than once? Like, I thought it only happened once when she talked about it in a previous episode. I thought it was one drunken night or whatever, but it's been more than one drunken night. And so Lawrence was like, well, if you had sex with him multiple times, you must like something about him or something. She was like, well, yeah, he's smart and he's funny. So I don't know if Lawrence felt like that was a shot at his self-esteem when she says that he's smart, I don't know if Lawrence felt like he wasn't that smart or he wasn't that funny. But he felt like there was something more with her statement, or he just felt his insecurities of what happened between him and Issa, where like, he's being lied to, and he's thinking that maybe there's more to her and Colin in the situation, but he's not showing. Plus, on top of that, he's not even over Issa, and he still has feelings for Issa, but I think, she broke his heart so much that right now he's not ready to, be back in a relationship with her or be with her, because he's broken. He's a broken man at this point. And basically, he's getting with her to just fill that void in his heart or whatever. And trying to move forward, because like I said, the old saying is to get over somebody, get under somebody. And so, Lawrence is like, okay, all right, I see. And so it's like, what's her name? Apati. Well, she's in the car. Well, his co-worker is in the car. I swore I had this name down packed before I even started this review. I don't know what happened. It just won't come out. So, they're in the car, whatever, and they're riding. And so, she's texting with her sister, and she's smiling and giggling. And Lawrence, with his insecurities, he feel like she's talking to Colin. And he says to her, so Colin's that funny? And she was like, no, he's not that funny. I was talking to my sister, my niece or whatever, put a bowl of cereal on her head or whatever. And so then they get into an argument because Lawrence thinks that she's lying, that she's not telling the truth. And he says, I don't like liars. And so she's feeling slighted. She was like, you know what? Stop the car. Let me out, because I know where this is going. I've been down this road before. So she's been down that road where someone accused her of something that she's not doing out of jealousy issues. And Lawrence feels like he's been down this road before with someone not telling him the truth and lying to him. And I don't even know if this was also Lawrence's way out of this relationship, to exit this relationship if it's actually over. It's hard to be over when you guys are co-workers and you're dating. Let me tell you, that's the worst thing to do, is date a co-worker. I dated a co-worker, and it was a very not a pleasant situation after a while. Sometimes it works for some people, but never mix business with pleasure, believe me. So she jumps out the car, so she's leaving, and Lawrence is like, no, you really gonna do this? You really gonna do this? And she's bouncing, she's leaving. And it just seems like Lawrence he's hurt, but not hurt, because his mind is still on Issa, and that part of his life is not over yet. It's not done yet. There's still unfinished business with Issa. And it seems like, Lawrence might have made a big mistake by messing with Apati right now because, they work together, and she's also, was having sex with Colin, somebody, a big wig over there at the company. So it's probably not going to be a good idea to get her pissed off or mad, because I don't know if Lawrence is going to be looking for a new job next year, or is it going to get more difficult at work, or are people going to turn their back on him at work? Is he going to have problems with people at work? Because Apati, she's very comfortable and talking to the employees and telling them, her co-workers, and telling what she's doing and what's going on in her life. And most likely she's going to let everybody know at the office how insecure and how jealous Lawrence is or whatever, because in the last episode, Lawrence is making a lie saying that, hey, he just stood home and sat on the couch or whatever. But they was like, oh, and then, she told him, Apati told them that, hey, her and Lawrence was out chilling and hanging. So he was trying to keep it on the low. And she was freely talking to her co-workers because they're friends, and she's known them longer than she knows Lawrence. So it seems like there's going to be some chaotic stuff going on at work. And also, as Apati is exiting, Lauren's vehicle, she was like, oh, that pile of shit right there is calling you, because Issa called him. Issa showed up on his thing, It was right there for display on his phone, right when it started ringing. Issa, it's in the building. So it's like, damn, Issa always comes back. And it's like, because his heart is still there with her. But I don't know how they're going to maneuver around the hurt and the pain that he has, so he can ultimately get back with her. Would he ever forgive her? Would he ever trust her? So we'll see next season if that's actually going to happen or not. We don't know, but we'll find out. But also, Lawrence was talking to his friends. He was talking to Derek, and he was talking to Chad, and they was talking about, Apati or whatever, and her having a relationship with, Colin at work, and they was telling him he needs to put a stop to, he needs to put his foot down. He don't need to get played and look like a sucker. Like, he felt like he looked like a sucker when he found out that, Issa was having sex with Daniel. So he also, got some wrong information from his friends, because, he went at her too hard about the situation. I think if he felt uncomfortable about it, he should have just slowly diminished being with her, messing with her, because it ultimately can mess up his job, and he might have to be looking for another job and be on the same type of chopping block that Issa's on. So now we move on to Molly 90 days. Molly 90 days is, she's Quentin, I think his name is Quentin, she's with him, the guy from Get Out or whatever, and, he's helping her with her job interviews and, giving her advice, and, Molly's going on different job interviews and everything like that, and she had dinner with Quentin, and then she ends up seeing, Lawrence, and so she's looking back into her past as well, or her friend's past, and so Quentin says to her, like, hey, listen, when you come to Chicago, I'm going to take you out to eat. She was like, well, I got to eat then, homie. And so she threw up, friendship, like putting that friend zone or automatically up, not even giving him a chance, because, she feels like he's different. He's not like the normal guys that she usually date or whatever. Or it's not even that. It's just that she's stuck on Dro. She wants a man that's already taken. And it's really going to get ugly, because Molly is actually in love with Dro. She loves him as a friend, and now she loves him as a lover, and she's never going to be able to have him the way that she wants to have him. And plus, when her friends find out that she's sleeping with, Candace's man, and Dro, is just going to be a big problem. She's going to lose a lot of people, going to lose a lot of respect for her. And she's going to come, when she comes between their marriage, because I believe Candace is not going to appreciate someone so close to Dro that he's sleeping with, because it's not just him having an affair or just sleeping with somebody else. It's actually someone that develop feelings for, and does have feelings for, and she does as well. So that's more than just a side piece, as a side piece with feelings, you know what I mean? So it's going to get ugly in that situation, and she's gonna really get hurt. And then her mom and her father are gonna point the finger at her for making a dumb mistake. And plus, she's losing out on two good men that are coming in her path to give her what she wants and what she needs. But she can't see that because she's so hooked on Dro that's already married. So that's how sometimes we miss our blessings, because we're stuck on the past, and we're stuck on bad news, and we're stuck on being in a bad place, knowing it's a bad place, knowing it's a bad decision. Because if she didn't think it was, she wouldn't have tried to not talk to him. She tried to like end it a couple of times, but she didn't end it. And she's gonna miss out. So anyways, she's going on her job interviews and things like that. And so, because basically she wants to get that raise and basically come to the table at her job and say, hey, listen, I got this job offer, I'm going to leave, or whatever. And so Molly's back into counseling. So that's good that Molly's back into counseling. And so they talk about Quentin. And then also she was like, I can't see myself with him. I couldn't see myself with him. And all this other stuff, like, because she always has this way that she wants things to be like planned out. And so the doctor was like, maybe work on what you do want, what you can do, what you can get, work on that. Work on what you can actually obtain instead of going out for the big things, And so in the meantime, what you could have instead, And so she ends up, telling the doctor she doesn't really know how it's gonna make it, how it's gonna be with Quentin, or where it's gonna go with Quentin, or whatever. But she doesn't tell the doctor that she's sleeping with a married man. And guess who calls her while she's getting ready to make her next appointment? It is Dro. He's calling for Molly because he wants some of that Molly. So then Molly ends up working late night with Quentin, and they end up having sex. And they did the damn thing. But I think, like the old saying goes, you got to get under somebody so you can get over somebody. So I think she was really trying at this. She does like Quentin because he's nice, he's supportive, and he understands everything that she's going through, and he makes her laugh. And women love men that make them laugh or whatever. And he's compassionate. And he's single. And when you spend a lot of time with people, sometimes, you end up doing something. So they end up doing something. So it's not that she's not attracted to him, because she is attracted to him. It's just that she's stuck on Dro. She wants something that she can't have, because I believe she thinks she should be with Dro. She should have Dro. She should be married to Dro. That's what she believes, and it's wrong, because she's gonna get a rude wake up call next season when Dro's probably gonna end her or make her even feel more of a side piece, or her and Candace are going to get into it, because I don't know if Candace knows. I don't know if it's Dro's actually being honest about him and Candace having an open marriage, but we will see next season if that's actually true. Now, if it's not true and everybody finds out that, Molly is sleeping with Dro, people are going to be giving her the thumbs down, basically, her friends. So we'll see what happens with that situation. And it just seems like, it's bad for business with her. And so anyways, she goes to her job, and then her job is her job calls for a meeting. It was like, hey, we know that you've been going out on interviews and things like that, but we want to offer you an incentive because we want to keep you here at the firm. And then they give her a certificate with a star on it. It's called the Rising Star Award, and we're going to have your picture posted on the firm's website, which it already should be. And she was like, with this award, you can go many places where there's something good to have in your portfolio. And I was like, damn, they're going to play a sister like that. That tells you exactly how they feel about her, that she's not worth the extra money. She's good. We don't want to lose her, but she ain't worth that extra money. She ain't worth breaking bread with, and that's wrong. So hopefully Molly gets it together with Quentin, and she gets into a stable relationship with him, but we know she's going to end up messing that up. but you know, she needs to find a better job. Like, she needs to chase the money. Like when she was talking to Issa and, you know, Kelly about her job situation, which job should she choose? Should she go with the black people? Should she go with the white folks? And then, you know, Issa said follow the money. She was like, that's the same thing Quentin said. So Quentin knows what he's talking about. And so we'll see what happens with that situation, but it just shows you how no matter how, sometimes you can be the best at what you are, and people and your employers know that, and but they don't value you like they should value you. They value people that do less than you more than they value you. So we'll see which job that she picks. We'll see if she stays at the firm. I don't see how she could stay at that firm because that was totally disrespectful. She's not a little child. It's not like give me a star on my motherfucking alphabets. You know, give me a star when I get my pluses and a minus and addition and attraction homework into the teacher, and she puts a goddamn sticky face, a star, or a smiley face on it. No, I'm an attorney. She's an attorney. She's a go-getter. She's good. Everybody else wants her, but you guys still don't want to pay her. That is so low down dirty. But we know things like this go on, and we see like the regentrification going on in that community. So it's crazy. Gentrified, you know. So we get to Issa. Issa's lost. She's just lost right now. And you know, it starts off with her. You know, she's at the race or the marathon they have been running. No one knew Kelly was, you know, Issa and Molly didn't know that Kelly was, you know, doing a marathon and running and training. They didn't know Tiffany was pregnant. They didn't know none of that. And it was like, you know, it seems like, you know, they're so off track with their busy lives because, you know, Molly's too busy chasing down this married man and trying to get this new job. And then you have Issa. She was in her host stage for a while. Now she's out of her host stage. She's back into reality. So we'll see what happens with that situation. So anyways, you know, what's her name? Kelly, she couldn't finish, you know, the marathon because she had a period. A period came and was running down like the red wine, the red wedding. It was horrifying, terrible, and disgusting. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. And then so we get to Issa. She's at work and she has the Spanish kids in at the job office, you know, helping them prepare for the SATs and things like that. And so then Issa's boss walks in and is like, oh, what made you guys, you know, come in on the weekend and do this? Is it that built up? You know, we can have more people come over there and help, this and that. And then so so Issa finally tells her boss that, hey, listen, the principal over there didn't want us to really service the Spanish kids, so now we're doing it on a weekend on the side. And the boss is like, oh my God, that's just awful. That's terrible because we can get sued because that's like desegregation and all this other stuff. And so the boss was like, hey, I didn't see any of this in the notes. Let me talk to Frida. And she was like, Frida got nothing to do with this. So Molly totally takes the hit for it, and she's gonna lose her position as director. So she's losing her position as director. So I don't know if her pay is going to go down. She already don't have an apartment, you know, and she has to move because the rent went up. You know, she's trying to get rid of you. Like, everything's crashing down on Molly. On Issa. Then on top of that, Issa doesn't have her car back. So she's catching Ubers here and there. And she has to drive around with her brother. And her brother's a total dick towards her. But I guess that's how family is to each other. Some families. So, Issa totally messed up, and now Frida is going to get Issa's position, which I don't believe Frida deserves that position because she could have did a lot more to assist and help Issa with getting the Spanish kids in. Even though she did bring it up to Issa, she could have said something to the boss, you know, but she didn't. So why give it to her? Why won't you give it to somebody else? So I don't know. Or maybe Issa spoke up for Frida in such a good light that her boss felt like, okay, Frida actually wasn't agreeable to the situation, so let me give it to Frida. But I don't think Frida could handle, you know, the kids on her own or by herself and dealing with tough situations with kids. But we'll see what she does and how long she keeps this position. Is she going to let this position become between her and Issa? And then she also says, Issa invites her off for drinks. She also says, oh, let's go to Iwood. You know, like basically throwing a racist comment when she was getting on the principal. for saying racist shit or saying things that, you know, people can consider disrespectful to their culture, where they live or where they come from. But now, so now it seems like she's going to be kind of shady. So we'll see how that situation goes and how long she can keep that position. If she's going to keep that position for a long time, or she's going to come under any fire for having that position, or she's going to be able to handle it. So we'll see. And so then, Issa's chilling with Molly and, Kelly, and they're watching TV, whatever, the slave show, and Issa was like, well, you guys need to help me pack and things like that. And so they was like, pack what? She was like, pack my valuables. And then Kelly was like, what valuables? There ain't nothing here worth anything. You got nothing that's valuable. Come on. And they start laughing. She was like, if you really want us to help you, we'll help you, but don't be lying to us talking about valuables. You don't got no valuables in this house. What are you talking about? And they was all laughing at her. It's like, damn, Issa can't catch a break. But some of the things that she did on her own. She did herself. And so anyways, Issa was like, oh, I'm going to get a second job. I'm going to do something like that. And she was like, you know what? So then Kelly was like, what about the roommate I was telling you to, call so you can get a roommate, whatever. And so Issa was like, nah, I can live by myself, whatever. And it was like, and then Kelly was like, bitch, you ain't got no money. You can't afford to live on your own. What the hell are you talking about? You need a wake up call. You don't make no money. You don't got enough money. And then Kelly was like, you know what? I'm sorry. She was like, but come on, let's get real. Stop playing these games with me. Stop playing with my intelligence. You don't have enough money. Issa was like, well, I'll get a second job. And then, Molly comes up with saying, hey, won't you sell some of your stuff? So then she has a yard sale, and, she's selling a vacuum that doesn't have a cord to it or a plug. Everything just sitting out there. And young Yodel Thug, he comes in with his daughter, and she eats some nasty meal. And Issa was like, you know what? Good luck to you, girl, good luck to. But he's still able to keep his apartment. He's still able to afford the rent there because he be hustling. And he offers her $5 in like a EBT card or a bus pass or something like that. And so, she was about to get, so the guy that looks like Mace, he's with his girlfriend that Issa was sleeping with. Well, she had sex with him once or whatever. And, his girlfriend sits on the couch or whatever. She's like, how much is this couch? And that made Issa think about her and Lawrence. And so she's going to save the couch. And she's not going to sell the couch, but she sell everything else that's out there. Because her brother was like, you're not bringing all this junk to my house. You're not bringing all this shit. Whatever don't go is going to go to the trash. The brother's all like, if you're going to bring any niggas around, they got to be fucking me, or you can't bring no niggas around. And when Kelly comes over, she got to have a muzzle on her mouth. And when you walk in my house, you can't wear no shoes. So he has so many different rules for her that is horrific. And, she's not feeling the situation, but this is where she's at. And all of these guys that she slept with, that hotation, all that is out the window, because now she really has to face reality, because she was trying to escape her reality and the serious things that were going on in her life by using sex, and then also having sex with all these other guys because she was hurt by not having Lawrence. But now she has to wake up. Now it's her wake-up call. Her perspectives have to be in place, because right now, no car, no apartment, and couch surfing, and also losing her position at her job. So maybe she's going to find a different job. Maybe she's going to start her own program next season. We'll see what happens. So yeah, because she seems like she's too educated to be working at that job, not making enough money to pay her rent. But that happens to a lot of people where they have a decent education, but they're just not making much on their job to cover all the things like the high gas prices that they showed in the beginning of the season, and just how the community's changing, so everything's growing up. Everything is, the prices are rising, because that's how you push people out of a community, right? Raise the prices, raise everything, where the normal people that were living there can't afford to anymore. You go to the stores, things are too expensive. You change the community. So anyways, so it's just terrible for Issa. And so anyways, she rides back with her brother to go to, give the have a quick look around with the apartment manager or whatever. And plus she had text Lawrence earlier to come and get the couch and a box of his stuff that he had left around. So she goes into the house. I think she was kind of hoping that he was there, but he was there, and he was almost like a statue on the wall. I was like, what happened to that up there? And she was like, shit just went wrong, shit went left, I fucked up, I was in my moments. And so it seems like But she was like, you staying around to wait for me? He was like, yeah, because I didn't want to leave the things the way that we left things on the last time that they talk or whatever. So they're talking to each other, and they're basically saying that they're sorry. He's saying that he's sorry for not being the man that he's supposed to be to her. He's sorry for not being there for her like he was supposed to. He's sorry that he couldn't be strong for both of them. And he's sorry that, he was depressed for a while and he was focusing on this one idea. Now he's realizing that, hey, maybe his ideas are not all that great because he's seeing what's happening at this job. And then he also apologized for him getting stuck. He shuts down, and that's what happened in their relationship. He shut it down, and he didn't communicate as well as he could, but he was in so much pain that he couldn't because he was suffering through his own thing. And then Issa apologized. She was like, yo, all you ever did was love me. I should have been able to be strong enough for the both of us. You was always thinking of that good person of me and being good to me and being good for both of us, but when it came time for me to be good for both of us, to hold things down, I couldn't do it because I don't even know how to be good to myself. I didn't know how to do that. And then Lawrence agrees that he didn't know how to do it either. Well, to be hella good to each other, to be good to each other, hold each other down while they're going through their trials and tribulations, while one person is shutting down, and to keep the relationship alive and keep it going and being supportive. But Issa was like, I couldn't even do that for myself. There's no way I could have did it for you. So Issa, she's admitting, you could tell like their apologies are very deep. And she was like, I didn't even know I can't even do that for myself. And she was like, right now where I'm at, if you only knew, Lawrence, what she's going through, maybe you'll give her a place to stay. And maybe that might be something that's going to happen next season, where Issa ends up moving in with Lawrence, and how the tables are going to change, where he's the breadwinner and Issa starts to look for a new job. So we'll see what happens with that situation. And they both apologized to each other, and they both told each other that they love each other. They still got that love for each other, but I think Lawrence's pride and his hurt won't let him forgive Issa to be back with her, because he evidently he does love her and he does want to be with her, and she's a part of him, and he hasn't gotten over her and she hasn't gotten over him, no matter who they go with. And sometimes people get back together, sometimes they don't, even though their heart belongs to somebody else. So their new relationships really don't go that far, or they do, but the person never knows that somebody else got their heart. So anyways, we get to, they hug or whatever. And, as they're leaving to say goodbye to each other at the door, Issa's about to shut the door on Lawrence, and he's leaving. And she just had a thought that, he would get on his knees and say, will you marry me? I want to be with you forever. And she ends up getting pregnant, and she ends up having a baby, and they live together, and they're in bliss where they're supposed to be, where she thought they was going to be. And I think, Lawrence had a little flash of that too as well. But it's like Issa is like kind of like wanting her friend Tiffany's life. So we'll see how all that plays out. And then we get, Issa, she's sleeping over, Molly's house. And they're having like a themed dinner. And, they're having a wonderful time. And so, Molly tells, Issa, hey, won't you move in with me? She was like, girl, I love you too much to move in with you. And she was like, I promise I won't have all them rules that your brother has. Her brother has hella rules. And so she was like, nah, I'm not going to do that to you. And so then, Molly says, we're black girl magic shit. And so then that's when Issa goes, we ain't shit but some hoes. He said, we ain't shit but some trick. No, we ain't shit but some tricks. And so they're having a wonderful time bonding together. You could tell how close they are. And then so it's the next day. Issa's getting dressed. She's leaving. She's taking an Uber to Daniel's house. And then she also finds out that Lawrence added her back to Facebook. So maybe she'll keep in mind of not posting pictures of Daniel on Facebook. So anyways, Issa is walking towards Daniel's house getting off the Uber, going up to the door, and Molly's at home getting dressed and putting on sexy lingerie and going to the door, and they're both going, and it both shows them walking towards a door, opening it, which is the wrong door to choose, which they're both making a bad decision by Molly going to Daniel when she felt like Daniel disrespected her, Daniel's no good for her, and all this other stuff, because she just said she didn't have trust from him, and he humiliated her. But now she's back at his house sleeping on his couch. And so and then Molly open the door to Dro to sleep back with Dro, knowing that he's married, knowing that he's taken, knowing that he can't emotionally give her what she needs. Only thing he can do is physically have sex with her, whisper sweet things in her ear, and that's it. But they're not going to get married, they're not going to have kids, she's not going to grow. There's no end, there's no end game with this relationship with her and Dro. So we'll see what happens next season. So it's like they're both going to doors that are bad decisions, and it's just like, damn, Molly got to sleep on Issa got to sleep on Daniel's couch. Like, damn, son, it's like shit. And then Molly's over there hooching it over there with that married man. She's gonna get her heart broken bad. She's gonna be hurt, and she might end up getting a beat down too as well. And I wonder how she's gonna explain this to her mother and her father. What is going to happen with that? Would you think Dro's gonna leave his wife to be with Molly? Or is Molly going to get pregnant? Or is she going to try to get pregnant? She probably taking fertility drugs and things like that. But we'll see. But damn, Issa is couch surfing. So what's going to happen with Issa now? Is she going to actually move in and live with Daniel? Then, that's going to hurt Lawrence. He's gonna believe that she never loved him again. He's gonna believe that he was always in the back burner. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, please like the video. It'd be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples, just to let me know like you like my reviews, you're interested in my reviews, and it also gives me an incentive to know that, hey, people actually like it. So anyways, peace. I'm out.